I don't think it would be crazy to say that this was the best flashback chapter in all of One Piece. Oda is on fire! We got so many things, big reveals, amazing fights, Imu's new form, and a sad ending, all in just a few pages. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get started. The chapter begins with Imu, and it's interesting to notice that the form of Imu and Saturn together looks a lot like the mysterious Florian Triangle. We still don't know how big Imu really is. When sitting on the empty throne, Imu looks small, almost human-sized. But during the attack on Sabo, Imu's form got huge. Saturn's transformation was also large, but in this chapter, Imu looked even bigger. If we look at the ancient mural, Imu seems enormous, maybe even the same size as the creatures in the Florian Triangle. For me, it's the other way around. If it wasn't Imu, then there's no good explanation for what the Florian Triangle actually was. But that makes me wonder, why did those creatures appear back in Thriller Bark more than 800 chapters ago? This could connect to one of the most popular theories from past chapters, the idea that Thriller Bark might be the remains of God Valley. Imu and Moria have a lot in common. Both can control others, take over bodies, build armies, and are linked to the shadows. We also saw a few members of the Rocks Pirates at Thriller Bark, including Captain John and Ganzui. There was even a Cerberus at Thriller Bark, and in Elbaf, Shamrock revealed that his sword had eaten the Cerberus devil fruit. There are a lot of clear links here, and I'm sure Oda will reveal even more later. The real reason for Imu's appearance is still unknown, but one thing feels sure. Thriller Bark might still play an important role in the story. When Imu and Rocks started fighting, Garp suddenly appeared at the scene. We knew that Saturn was there, yet he still attacked him. Later, he went after Imu himself. So why wasn't Garp punished for this? Is he really that important to the world government? And if so, why? On the other hand, Garp has seen everything with his own eyes. He's seen how cruel the celestial dragons truly are. He witnessed the terrifying forms and powers of both Imu and Saturn. He saw what they did to Rocks and countless innocent people, yet he still chose to remain a Marine. He didn't even try to save Ace during Marineford. Yes, Garp refused to become an admiral because he didn't want to serve the celestial dragons. And I'm not saying he should have become a pirate either, but Marines serve the world government too, so I can't understand why he decided to stay after seeing all of that. Take Dragon, for example. He was also a Marine and saw the same horrors at God Valley. But unlike Garp, he made a choice. He shot a celestial dragon and followed his heart. He didn't turn into a pirate. Instead, he created an organization that would stand against the world government itself. It's true that Garp rejected the genocide at God Valley and even fought against Saturn and Imu. He later made his rebellion against the celestial dragons public. Morally, he's far better than most Marines, even more than Sengoku, for instance. But while Garp may be stronger than Dragon in battle, he was never strong enough to do what Dragon did. Dragon's decision to change his path and follow his beliefs is one of the most underrated examples of character development in all of One Piece. Then we saw Captain John using the Jiki no Mi, the magnet fruit, to pull all the treasures toward himself with magnetic power. Captain John didn't deserve to be taken out by a single bomb, but in the end he suffered the same fate as his own son. Every devil fruit is said to have its own will, and maybe the will of the Jiki no Mi is to find someone who always gets one-shotted. Because of Captain John's ability, Dragon was thrown to the ground and separated from Shanks. After that, we saw Shanks climbing into one of the treasure chests, and that's how the Roger Pirates later found him there. Dragon, on the other hand, was still too weak at the time, so I don't think we'll see him fighting yet. But it's possible that Dragon was pulled or pushed toward the battlefield, specifically to the area with the treasures and the devil fruit chests. And that's where he might have found his devil fruit. Maybe Oda will finally reveal what kind of fruit it was, and hopefully we'll even get a short glimpse of its powers. Now let's talk about the ending of this chapter, which for me was a 10 out of 10. Imu, or rather Mu, has been ruling the world since the very first era, since the first world. This isn't your usual enemy. Nika tried to stop him, Joy Boy tried too, and both failed. It also looks like Imu's appearance isn't just a shadow or silhouette. That black, shapeless form is Imu's true body. a being made of pure darkness. In this chapter, the 6 strongest characters all used their most powerful attacks, and not a single one even left a scratch on Imu. Oda clearly showed us that brute strength alone cannot defeat Imu. Luffy and the others will need something more, like the 2 devil fruits that Rox mentioned, or maybe ancient weapons. No matter how big Luffy's armies become or how strong the people in it are, just raw power will not be enough. If these 6 legendary fighters couldn't even harm Imu, then I don't see how Luffy, Blackbeard, Shanks, Dragon, or anyone else will have a chance against this demon. In this chapter, we also saw Whitebeard use his first named attack, called Space Destroyer. It makes you wonder, Whitebeard was so sick at Marineford that he couldn't use named attacks or Haki properly, and yet he was still one of the top 3 strongest characters in that arc, and he was not 3rd. Imagine Whitebeard at his full power. After seeing Roger in this flashback, I actually think Whitebeard might have even been stronger than him. We also saw Rox's first named attack called Pandemonium. In kanji, it means the cursed abyss, but Pandemonium is also the capital of hell and roughly translates to all demon place. The name comes from the epic poem Paradise Lost. The fact that this is Rox's first named attack makes it very meaningful. He's attacking Imu, a being who could be described as the devil itself, sitting in Pangaea Castle, which Sabo called Hell at the top of the world. This is exactly why One Piece has stayed so popular for over 27 years. Oda pays incredible attention to even small details like these, and every choice has meaning. At the end of the chapter, Imu used Domi Reversi on Rox, and we saw him starting to transform into a demon. His fangs began to grow, showing just how dangerous he was becoming. Oda will probably add even more drama to his death, but it seems that the 2 best friends, Rox and Harold, ended up in the same way, facing the same enemy. Based on the information we have so far, we might expect Garp and Roger to stop Rox, but everything Sengoku revealed was actually a lie. For a long time, we thought Rox was a tyrant, maybe someone like Blackbeard. But the truth is, he is one of the most manly and well-written characters in the entire anime. That's why I don't think Garp and Roger killed him. Oda wouldn't have 2 characters like them take down someone like Rox, even if he turned into a demon. I believe Rox may have killed himself before he could harm his own family. Another possibility is that he might kill Eris, which could drive him completely mad. He could end up attacking some of the weaker characters, maybe even seriously damage Imu, and then finally sacrifice himself to save his son. If that happens, it would be one of the saddest deaths in all of One Piece. Of course, the world government covered everything up, which is why Garp got the title of Hero of the Marines. That might also explain why he hates to talk about God Valley and why Imu let him live, even after he attacked him. There was no other character strong enough to defeat Rox, so they needed someone to frame as the hero. If Imu could use a Domi Reversi on an overpowered character like Rox, then I'm sure we'll see it happen again to one of our beloved characters. I'm planning to make a separate video about the topic, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. That's it for today. Write your thoughts about this chapter down in the comments, and if you want to see more about Davy D. Rox and other members of the Davy D clan, you can click this video right here. Thanks for watching. Bye.